Hey, deserving listeners, it's time to continue watching 90 Day Fiancé. Let's get to the show.
Teresa,
What's the matter?
I'm sorry, I'm crying. I'm sorry, I have to tell you we cancel our wedding.
Okay, take your time. Take your time.
It's just my fiancé changed his mind, and it's a big.
Okay, slow down because I can't understand.
Wow. So we don't know the circumstances, but it sounds like the wedding is off and she's really sad. So on one level, we might imagine Mike is a very confused person because when he proposed that second time, last episode, it certainly seemed to my eyes, to be not an impulsive choice. How would I characterize it? As I watch the show, which I'm only seeing tiny little bits and pieces of their relationship, I was surprised. I thought Mike had decided a few episodes ago that he was done with the relationship. It certainly seemed that way from his demeanor, the way he was talking and that sort of thing. So when he proposed, given his stance on the matter, I thought, okay, all right, well, so some must have happened. We don't know what happened. So I guess there's one narrative, which we don't know. We'd have to ask Mike, that he asked her to marry him only being kind of sure that he wanted to marry her. And then something went wrong, and then he said, no, the wedding's off. It seems like that could be a possibility. Or maybe when he proposed that second time last episode, he was 100% in, and something horrible has happened in the intervening days, and that has completely changed his mind. So maybe we'll find out. Hopefully we will.
You have to go back home. That doesn't mean the relationship is over.
It's over. I'm sorry, I'm not discussing it with you. I cannot forgive him this.
Yes, I understand. Well, I'm sorry that it didn't work out for you.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. You're very sweet.
You're welcome.
Stay safe.
Alrighty. Okay, you too.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. All the best.
Okay, so it sounds like the relationship is over. Wow. I mean, it's quite a up and down at the end of the season. It seemed like from the beginning of the season, the relationship was a slow, quiet decline. And then all of a sudden, boom, the wedding's back on. And then, boom, the wedding is off. So I feel bad for Natalie. I feel really bad for her.
Outside, and then he told us that he couldn't do it. He just couldn't do it. I didn't like it. I know I cried with both of them. Mike was crying, she was crying, I was crying.
Okay, so it sounds like it was a tough decision for Mike. I wonder what his story is. Hopefully we'll get that. Was it that something happened? Was it that he just suddenly got cold feet at the last minute and thought, no, this is, it just seems like there's a lot of possibilities there. But given Mike's seemingly walled nature, maybe we'll never know.
I will fly to Europe, and from then I will figure out how I get home. I don't know honestly yet how, but I don't have time because I'm sorry, I cannot stay in one bed with men who does this to me, and it's too much. I cannot do this to myself.
That's a terrible position to be in during the pandemic. She doesn't know how she's going to get home. She says she's just going to go to Europe and figure it out from there. That's got to be pretty awful. What a terrible position that she's in right now. Now, maybe Mike has a good explanation for this. Maybe he's like, no, I was totally on board, and I don't know what happened at the last minute. Who knows? Or maybe he didn't understand that if he was going to pull the plug, he should have done it a long time ago so she could have more time to prepare to go back home. I don't know. I'm just really curious where Mike is on this.
I didn't want myself to be in this situation. In general, I didn't want. And I just happened to be.
Yeah, it's really sad. It's interesting for me as someone who's been on this journey with them. I mean, it's one thing to watch the show. It's another thing to watch and really think about them and talk about them and hear comments from you and think about your comments. I feel like I have a deeper relationship with these people than I would if I just watched the show. And yeah, I feel bad for them. My narrative of them, which I have no idea, I'd have to ask them, is that they were very much in love and they had a lot of good times, and they seemed to work really well together. When he was a goofball, he was kind of silly, he would make his jokes, and she would be nice and lovey, and she would go along. And the two of them seemed to have a lot of chemistry at the beginning of the first season. And then the conflict began about religion and about kids and about vegetarianism and drinking beer and living where he is living, and all just these conflicts. The fact that she was making this huge adjustment and he didn't seem to really care to accommodate for that, throwing the ring back, and all the saying, I don't think I'm in love with you anymore. And just every step of the way just hurts and hurts and hurts. And that's normal, but no recovery, no apology, no understanding, no opening up to each other. It was just putting up more walls and more walls and more walls. And that's why when he proposed, it was shocked me, because it seemed like there were so many walls up that, at least for Mike, there wasn't any affection that he had for her anymore, or any affection he did have was, behind a lot of walls and a lot of hesitancy. And then he asked her to marry him again, and I thought, okay. And I started to switch to this other point of view, because the whole time I've been kind of pulling for them. I know not everyone is pulling for them, but I was, because I remember what they were like at the beginning, and I also felt like if they just had a little bit, if they went to Dave, the therapist, the couples therapist, it could have helped them to be more vulnerable with each other and more trusting of each other. I think they had that capability. And so when I saw that they were engaged again, I thought, oh, well, maybe this will get them going on the right path and they can actually get to that place that they used to. And now this shocker, and she's devastated, and now she's thrown into literally a traumatic situation potentially, where she has to travel during a pandemic in an airplane that puts her at risk in various different contexts, where she thought she was going to be staying in the United States possibly forever. So all of a sudden, boom, her life during a pandemic is completely thrown off. She is ashamed. She doesn't want to tell her mom. She probably doesn't want to tell any of her support system because she doesn't know what to say. And I'm guessing Mike isn't helping her very much. It sounds like the two of them are agreeing not to talk to each other. The friend is coming in and helping Natalie get a car so she can go to the airport. I don't know what's happening. So this certainly puts Natalie in a very, very difficult situation. For Mike, he just has to go back to his life, and Natalie moves out, and so he's not inconvenienced by this at all. So it's just really sad. I just really, really feel bad for the two of them. I hope we get a explanation from Mike that makes sense. Let's see what happens.
Next time on 90 Day Fiancé.
Okay, well, I guess we'll have to wait till next time. All right, well, that does it for that episode. If you haven't joined our official Facebook page or our Instagram or our Facebook fan page, and you want to, you can use the link below and join us there. It's always great to connect with people and participate in the conversation and see pictures of my dogs and my cats. And everyone out there, please take care of yourself, because you deserve it. You really, really do.